So go up to Tennessee. They have like quarter comics.
We have quarter bins and methamphetamines. You do some meth, you can look for comics for a long time.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God!
For more than a century, comic books, television, and movies have existed. Each separate, broken, with their gatekeepers.
No!
Then, something happened that brought all media together. The internet brings comic fans around the world into one comic community. Put your hands together, comic fan. Comics are for everyone. It's 10 p.m. Eastern, live Comic Book Wednesday, a weekly YouTube show about comic books with Lady Fantastic. Comics on the Mind.
Get your hands up!
Miracleman. Special guest appearances by Ace. And your host, Not Near Mint. Welcome to Not Near Mint.
Welcome to the show, everybody. It's a new episode of Not Near Mint. It is May the 19th, 2000. I hope it's 21. I keep wanting to say 19 because I kind of hope that 2020 never.
Go backwards, please.
Have something to say.
But first, Ace.
Everybody, it is time to sing happy birthday to Rob.
Yeah.
Get ready? 1, 2, 3.
Internet again.
Happy
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Rob.
Happy birthday to you. Sorry, we did not give our guests any warning for that tonight, so I do apologize.
No.
Welcome to the
Great.
show. Hey.
Very interesting way to get in onto a show. First time I ever do that.
Well, welcome, Howard and Josh. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
For those of you in our viewing audience, these are the co-writers for one of my absolute favorite horror comics on the shelves today, Damned Cursed Children. So
Yes, we are.
I gotta ask, how did you come up with that idea? You've got toddlers, right?
Yeah. Well, when the idea came, I did. I was actually sick in bed because my kids were daycare during that time, and Josh gave me a ring Not to see how it was, how I was doing, though. I was sick again during that time. He basically was calling to see if I can take him into a convention thing at that time. And then when he found out I was sick, he basically blurted out, "Damn cursed children." And I was like, remember, I was sick in bed with the plague and drugged out of my brain. So I thought that was a great title for a book. And I was like, "You should do this." He's like, "You should do this." I'm like, "We should do this," because I'm in no condition to do anything but not die right now. So Josh started writing it, and then he literally started emailing me. And honestly, I remember reading it in my bed because I had nothing else to do, trying to get healthy, to be honest. And it sort of spawned from there. So from him uttering those words about my kids, which, come to think of it, kind of mean, but that's where the idea spawned from that.
Oh, it's very cool. Sorry, I just kind of stepped right on you there, Mr. Worst. Go right ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just nodding ahead politely.
So, is this your? It's published by SourcePoint Press.
That's
and
correct.
We were talking a little bit before the show, and they're definitely not a super well known publisher, but I definitely think they're one of the up and comers.
I agree with that. It was weird because I pitched this to a lot of different publishers, to be frank, over the years, and no joke, everybody loved the idea, they loved the art, they loved the concept, but nobody had the courage to publish it because of the content. If you read it, then you could have get why they wouldn't want to do it. A lot of publishers, it wouldn't be in their wheelhouse. It's not like they don't like it; they like it. They understand what we're doing with it, but it's not within what they're doing. So fast forward to me trying to have dinner after I think the third day of a con at Fan Expo, the third day of I think it was third day of Fan Expo, and somebody taps me on the shoulder. It's like, "You got to meet Travis." I'm like, "Who?" "From SourcePoint." "What?" Don't forget, this is dinner time. This is like around 9 p.m. and I'm like I just want to eat and then have enough energy to get home and say hi to friends. So I ended up not eating and meeting Travis, and then Travis just gave me the lowdown of what they were doing, which was totally amazing talk. And then he, like any good publisher, asks, like, "So what are you working on?" I'm like, not much, because I'm like doing a day job and stuff, doing other things. But if you want to know what I want to pitch, is something that nobody had the balls to pitch. If you want to hear that, and I jokingly pitched them Damn Chris Chilling by telling him why people didn't want to publish it. And I was waiting for him to go, "Yeah, we're not going to do it. Love the idea," and I can have my dinner and then be and then hang out with my friends. But he literally said, "Fuck it, we'll do it." I'm like, seriously?
Wow.
Seriously,
No.
if a book by the name of Bitch Planet could be sold based on the name of the name alone, just the fact that you have something killing the children, but instead the children are the ones that are killing.
Yeah,
Yes,
I know.
please.
Well, so that was one of those things where I didn't know too much about SourcePoint. Got to know them from the ground up because Travis literally spent a lot of time talking to me about them and their plans and their future. And I asked him really hard questions, to be very frank, because I had experiences with good publishers and not so good publishers. And he did a lot of assurance. And then when I messaged Josh and Robin, or artist, Arvin Simon Ing, who's an amazing artist, he lives in Singapore. So not a good time for him to be at his podcast or any podcast in North America. He's literally waking up and going to work right now. So unfortunate for that. But no, it was an amazing talk. And when I talked to the guys about it, they were wondering who SourcePoint Press was too. And I gave them a lowdown, gave them the links, and go, "Do your research. We got to dig deep and look at them. And if that's the place we think we should be, then we'll do it." And then when we start looking at their books and the content of their books, I'm like, "Yeah, this is definitely the right place to be." They're going to appreciate what we're doing, so they get what we're doing. So I think we're going to be all in good hands. And we honestly had a great, wonderful production with them. Never ever had an issue. It was always us asking certain questions, and they were answering them immediately. So great publisher relationship with the creators. Couldn't be happier.
That's really good to hear. That's one of the things that I think we've all heard many times in the past from creators is, we usually we get these stories backstage, but you always hear a horror story or two from one publisher or another. So
it's for people who are trying to break in. It's like finding a job. any place that you apply for a job to, it might sound really good on the outside, but once you're inside in the bowels of it, it might be like hell on earth, or it might be a complete opposite. It might be literally what it looks like from the outside, but you never know what you're going to get until you get there. So don't take it to heart. You hear the stories and everything and people's experiences. You take that with a grain of salt, obviously, and then you go into it, right? But always be prepared for the hope for the best, prepare for the worst kind of thing. It's like any other thing that you do,
Right. So, this book's out now. What other books have you guys worked on in the past?
Hey, Josh, you want to answer that first?
Sure. Through a publisher here in town, here in Ottawa, I've done a few issues of a series called Zomkies, which is 3 self-contained issues. The first one is kind of like Jurassic Park with zombie monkeys. And then the second one is zombie monkeys fighting soldiers. And then the third one is zombie monkeys in space, which was almost like Damn Cursed Children, like started as a gag because there's all these weird movies like Hellraiser and Leprechaun that inexplicably go into space eventually. So I did some of those. And then I've done a bunch of anthology stuff here and there. Another big thrill right alongside Damn Cursed Children, which has really been a dream come true because Howard and I have been working on it forever. And it's really a example of don't give up, just keep going through those trenches and good stuff can happen. But another nerd dream is that I got to write an episode of DC Superhero Girls, and that is out on the internets now. And so I got to write a Flash cartoon. So that was another thrilling bit of my resume.
That's very cool.
Yeah, that is cool. That's actually, if you look at how many viewers he has, that's pretty epic shit, to be honest with you. Wow, what have I written comic book wise? Let me think. This is definitely not going to be in chronological order. I did an Iron Man comic book. It was for the Iron Man ride at Hong Kong Disneyland. Anthology. Oh, what is that title? For George Takei's anthology. I think it's called New Frontiers. George Takei's life. I could be wrong. I haven't looked into that in a million years. Did some horror anthologies here and there. Did Toronto Comics, which is fun. Bandai. I did a project with Bandai in 3.0 for a toy product, giant robot called Full Metal Ghost, which was designed by the guy who designed Gundam. Like all the Gundams, actually, kind of think of it, as well as a bunch of 1970s anime stuff like Gatchaman's enemy vehicles. Gatchaman basically here, North America's Battle of the Planets or G-Force. So he was like that big, giant, epic guy in the room on the phone. He wasn't where I was physically, but it was scary every time he opened his mouth and said something when I said something because I thought he hated everything I said, but it wasn't. So it was good. And I wasn't there to do a comic book. I was there to do story development, which is some of the work that I do. And then he found out I did comic books online and told me to do a comic book. So I did for his launch of his toy. What else did I do? True Patriot with a bunch of Canadians. It was an anthology of original Canadian superheroes done by Canadian creators, which is pretty cool. After the Cape, I did with Image Comics, which was my first foray into comic books. First published comic book, actually, as well.
You worked on that with Valentino, right?
Yes.
Wow.
It was, with Shadow Line. And the artist was Marco Rudy on the first series, who has gone on from there to work with like everybody. Like everybody. So I think he's actually working on his first creator-owned book right now, which I feel like an ass because I just literally spring for the title of it. But if you find out, do you find out how you can buy it and get to it? After reading that, because I'm not full time in comic books. I do like mobile games, video games, and other things. So I sort of like in comic books, but not like deep in, which is kind of weird when I say it out loud. But I think I don't think I'm missing any. Oh, actually, I did something interesting. It just came to mind though. I did my first children's book with Adrian Alfona from Runaways and Miss Marvel. It was for an authors festival I was going to, and they asked me if I had anything for kids. I'm like, no, I don't. You invited me, so here I come. So I joked that I was working on a children's book. Like, we'll publish it for you. I'm like, and then I spent a week at Adrian's condo and busted out a Jonas book with them, which I can tell you right now is not something you should try. A lot of fun, when it's all done, but you learn if you learn real quickly if you're really good friends or not in that week. But we're really good friends, so it worked out really well. It was really cool.
Well, that's good. That's good. Yeah. So you said you won't work in comics full time. So are you guys trying to say you're not both millionaires from publishing comics?
Unfortunately, we are the very few that are not. everybody else for sure are, driving their Bentleys around and stuff like that.
I'm pretty sure every other creator we've had on here has literally warmed themselves with a stack of $100 bills on fire while we were doing the show. So it's shocking.
Yet at the same time, my job is during the day is as a court reporter, so I get to hear attorneys ask a lot of questions, and when they ask your CV to a doctor, I have seen doctors list less on their CV than you did on your entire CV for all the books that you've done. So that is an impressive catalog, both of you.
It is indeed, and I'll be honest with you, Zomkies, that is something that is just one on my list. They're zombies. I'm in. That's all I'm going to say. I went and I grabbed here real quick for anybody who hasn't seen them, and I know I've shown them off on the show before. Unfortunately, issue 4 is still coming in my order, but here we go. I have the first 3 issues, and I'll tell you right off the bat, what grabbed me was the cover design. Really stands out. And I'm sorry, apparently I have the world's worst camera tonight. But the cover design really stood out for me. Very reminiscent of kind of the old EC horror comics with the trade dress on it. Was this your artist's kind of design, or is this something you guys all worked on together? How does something like that come about?
We worked on it together in the sense that me and Josh definitely are bigger horror fans than Robin is, because when we figured out what we wanted to do with the covers, the idea, the concept of it, we asked Robin what he thought, but he's not really into the EC comic book stuff or horror films in general. So
I'm not convinced Robin has ever read a comic or seen a movie. Which is really good for his style, because that means it's all him.
Right.
But we were throwing ideas at him. Like I think Howard's bright idea was to make the title seen on a comic shelf, so that really stands out. Put the title front and center. And then we had ideas for EC Comics, and we had ideas for some movie poster tributes, and it was all new to Robin, which was great. But I love the covers. I think the covers are so amazing. Issue 4 is a tribute to the Night of the Living Dead remake poster, and I think it's beautiful. And all I did was say I like that poster, and then suggested the color purple, and then Robin did all the hard work. But it looks great.
Yeah, I remember Robin complaining to us about it, not because of the ideas, the fact that the sheer volume of references that we were sending him in was one massive email. And we didn't realize how much we were sending him until he told us to stop. And then we looked back and we're like, wow, I sent him like 50 references on this one email alone amongst the 10 emails I sent him. And then I look at Josh's email, I'm like, yeah, but these are all good. So poor Robin's like, stop. I think we only have 5 issues. I'm like, yeah, true. But we want to make sure that you understand what we're going for, right? So yeah, Robin did an amazing job. And it was really weird when you ask, an artist, like, have you seen this movie or read a certain comic book? And he's like, nope. So you're going to be referencing literally what we're showing you. Like, it's like, yep, that's actually better in a way, because you don't get influenced by anything. So, as Josh said, when he gave us like the first draft, it was like literally what you see in the covers right now are all first drafts. Like, he killed it, like absolutely amazing. So it was really surprising to Josh and I that you didn't watch these movies. You have no idea what we're talking about what in these emails that we thought you understood. Nope. All right. Well, that's better. That's great. So it worked out for us in that sense that he has fresh eyes in that aspect, and then putting his take on it, based on our own nerdiness and inputting our own information of what he should refer back to, which is really weird and interesting at the same time.
So you're saying he has never, other than any visual reference you sent, he had no idea what The Shining was. He was not familiar with this image before making this image, or whatever you gave him as a reference.
I don't think so. Like, maybe he's seen the movie, but I think we sent him a couple of photos, stills from the movie, and I think that's where his inspiration came from. Yeah, I'm not positive, but yeah, like a lot of stuff we were throwing at him was new to him for sure. And what's neat about his style is, by happenstance, it looks like, I'm a big fan of kind of those magazine-sized Marvel horror comics from back in the day. Oh, yeah. And his stuff looks like that. And we're a black and white book. And besides for maybe a couple shots of, a flat screen TV or a cell phone, you might think it's from the mid 70s. It really has that vibe to it.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. There's a couple of points there. I'm an old school horror fan myself. I grew up on, the original Night of the Living Dead, and those style movies. And there's definitely a couple points there where you get that feeling of dread that you can only get from a black and white. I mean, nothing against color, but old school horror in black and white, there's a feeling to it. And this book definitely captures that feeling multiple times. Really, really, really well done. So.
I'll definitely pass on those words on to him. He loves hearing that because he lives in a weird kind of void, because as I mentioned, he was in Singapore, and I'm like, we could connect with the comic book shops there and let them know about, you being a local, having a book. It's like, I don't go to comic book shops. That's why I almost lost my shit. Like, what? Because I thought we were going to be in Singapore comic book shops, which was, honestly really cool, right? But
right.
Really not. I was like, so you don't know anybody? Like, nope.
Wouldn't they just have Tankobon over there, and that's pretty much about it? Like, just the same kind of manga that would be seen in Japan?
No. Singapore has their own convention. I believe Reed Pop is the one who runs it, and they have North American artists pop over all the time. I was thinking of going over, right before all this stuff happened out here. Because I feel like some really good friends in Singapore who are in the toys and in the other Korean industries there. So it's a really strong geek community there. It totally like us, comic book wise, people read North American comic books and collect them and all that. Totally big Marvel fans and all that. So it's really, really cool. And the thing is, people think that Singapore, I always get the same question, so if I go to Singapore, what do they speak? I'm like, you get to choose, because everybody's trilingual. Issue 4. There you go.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I actually read the whole thing again. So
nice. It's the first time me meeting you in I always say in person, but obviously virtually, but in person, because I actually connected with you through Instagram.
Yeah, and I actually really enjoy it. And then the other book I really enjoy is The Good Agent. So those are the two major books that I really enjoy right now.
Great. I appreciate I appreciate anyone who picks up our books and helps us do what we do, and tells the publisher that they want more of this kind of content too. So not just for us, but for any creator who wants to do these kind of stories, then they have a venue to go to do so, because they know there's a market now. So definitely support books that you like and stories that you kind of that you dig, and the art that you dig. That's how you get the books that you want out there, to be honest. So I appreciate that.
And then there's other ways that I've kind of learned about your book, Damn Cursed Children. Initially, it was through the Key Collector app that said, this is going to be the big book. And before I was going to the comic shop that I go to now, they would order the independent books modestly, to put it best. So if anything became the potential big book, they held that back. So of course we didn't get it. I would say, yeah, I want to get that. Please put that on my pull. I want to make sure get issue 2, 3. So I would get an issue 2, but hey, where's my issue 1? It's on order. We'll get it. So I have an issue 2 back here. No issue 1. But then, because of Miracleman saying, hey, we got the creators of Damn Cursed Children. They're coming on this show. Here's their interview on your birthday. listened to that this morning, and oh my God, you guys are true comic fans. You're talking Alan Moore, you're talking about TMNT in the 80s, going to comic shops regularly. When I hear this, it's not just somebody going, I want to sell my IP so I can make lots of money. Good luck with that. It's like people that want to get like 100,000 subscribers on YouTube to make hundreds of pennies a month. You're fans, and because of that, now I'm excited. I want to get the rest of that series.
Well, I appreciate that, but we do want to sell out. I mean, sell our IP out for sure. If anyone's listening,
Sell everything.
But
I remember Cartman selling out is cool because that way you get to make lots of money.
That's true.
Yeah, but it's really like genuinely, as hokey as it sounds, just a dream come true. Like when Howard snagged the publisher for us, and then when it got into previews, and my wife is a nerd enough to know that when I held up my cell phone with the image from the previews page on it, and she said, "Oh my God, you're in previews," because I've done a bunch of like anthology stuff or local stuff. And now it's like, I told Howard, I'm just going to be talking about this for the next 2 or 3 months, but we got Jimmy Palmiotti to read the book, really like the book, and write just an incredible opening for us. He wrote our introduction. And that blows my mind because I'm a kid of the 90s, and Jimmy Palmiotti was doing, Marvel Knights and doing Azrael and all this stuff, and Jonah Hex, which is one of my favorite books ever. And he knows we exist. He liked our book, and he wrote a very touching introduction for us. And so, yeah, like this is all for the love of the game. And it's all like, if this is it, I'm happy. We did it,
Hopefully not. But no, joking aside, no, it's been one of those things where, I mean, when I told these guys, I'm gonna get us a publisher, trust me, I'm gonna make it happen. Then 3 years go by, and 5 years go by, and then a decade goes by. I'm like, okay, maybe we should kickstart this thing. I'm gonna backpedal. Maybe we should Kickstarter. I'll do the whole bloody thing, and if that's cool, we'll do that. And when the guys were pretty cool, like, we waited this long. We'll we can wait another 5 years. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. And when I had finally got that green light and then sent them the contract, they were like, this is real. I'm like, yeah. So when you sign this, it becomes binding. So yeah, it's pretty real. So it was one of those things for me personally. I was like, I finally made good for these guys because they worked hard. Like, we had everything in the can, like literally in the can before we pitched it. So it was insane for everybody to work that hard for something. So I'm really proud of this book. It's one of the most proud things I've done because everybody worked so hard. It was like nothing at the end of the rainbow. We were like, we're working on it. Where's it going to go? Who knows? Because everybody's been saying no for years, right? So I've been very fortunate to meet Josh and Robin in my life. I mean, Robin I met many years ago. He was supposed to be my artist on my second after the Cape series, but he had kids and he had to bow out. But I kept in contact with him because I loved his art. And Josh, my God, Josh, how I met you was like the most nerdiest crap on earth, wasn't it? Like literally, like
we gotta hear it.
San Diego Comic-Con. I was staying in a place at San Diego Comic-Con that didn't work out, and I ended up staying with Tom Fowler, Attila Ardo-Jani in a condo, which was really cool. And they're like, "We'll just split the fee. It's a ground floor. It's like kind of like Melrose Place with the stupid thing in the courtyard in the middle." I'm like, that's cool. At least I have a place to sleep. So which bedroom is mine? That's the walk-in closet. Great. Where's the bedroom I'm going to sleep? That's the walk-in closet. That's all yours. I'm like, there's a couch here. No, that's for Josh. Who's Josh? He's coming. I'm like, yeah, but he's not here now. But so even when Josh wasn't there, I did not have the couch. And I literally slept in this walk-in closet in the same bedroom.
2 days later.
As Tom Fowler. Yeah, well, the funny thing was, the way I met Josh was I woke up in the morning and I realized and found out that our living room window looked right into Starbucks. Oh. So that was like the most amazing and weird thing you could have for a place to stay in San Diego Comic-Con, because you're seeing people drink coffee as you're making your, cheap ass instant coffee, but you get to see people like literally your heroes go get coffee and wave to them because it's really weird to see someone in a condo staring at you, through a coffee shop window. But I watched like Rob Liefeld have coffee and people walking by and see people snicker and shit. I'm like, this is the most weird con experience before I actually go to the con as I'm having coffee, right? So it's really weird. But then that's when Josh showed up.
When you first saw Josh, did you think there's that asshole that took my couch?
well,
he's still bringing it up on this show right now. He brings it up to this day.
Well, the first time I met Josh, he walked through the door with this giant nerd backpack, and it was thicker than him. It was like super, super full, and I was like, I guess this is Josh. And then, it was like introducing to each other, and Josh is like, "So you're Howard Wong?" I'm like, "That's my name. We just said that." It's like, "Do you After the Cape?" I'm like, "Yeah, I do After the Cape." He literally just dropped down in his backpack and then started rifling, and he whipped out issue 1.
Oh, nice!
I was like, please.
I was like, I can't hate you anymore. I hate myself. I can't hate you anymore.
But like, think of the chances of that. Like, of all the comics in the world, I read his book just randomly, like not because I knew him, because I thought it looked good. So I read that, on the plane on the way to San Diego, and then was roommates with him. Like that's,
Like,
I'm going to San Diego, so there's a chance that would happen, but.
It was
right.
It was so weird, right? That's how we met, but that's how we met initially. But then I was working in the image booth for my book and stuff. So I said to Josh, like, I want to hang out with you, have lunch, because I need to eat anyways. And then I found out that I didn't have lunch scheduled that day when I was supposed to meet Josh, and I couldn't text him for some reason because we were from Canada in the States, and for some reason my phone wasn't working properly. Yeah. So I was feeling like an a-hole. I'm like, shit. I stood up Josh. He's probably staying there for hours on end, not eating, wondering where the hell I am. And then see Josh come over to the table, and he's like, "You missed lunch." I'm like, "I am such an asshole. I am so sorry." And then he whips out the Simon Beasley book, his art book, and he hands it to me, and I'm like, "What's this?" Like, "It's here." And then he's like, starts walking away, and I open the book, right? And I don't have it with me, but I open the book, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, it's like, "F you, Howard." Simon Beasley. I'm like, "What the shit?" I'm like, "What the hell happened? What?" So Josh can tell the story of what happened to him when I was not eating lunch and trying to shell my books to people who didn't care. Comic-Con.
Yeah, I just ended up going to, at the time they were doing stuff with heavy metal, Kevin Eastman and Bees. And I was just, a nerd looking to chat with those guys, and ended up, Beasley wanted to go for a smoke, and I don't smoke. And I told him, I was like, man, I never wished I smoked more than right now. So I ended up going outside with him, and he was like the king. Like in that 15-minute walk to get outside, he knew everybody. He was getting hugs from little old ladies. Just everybody loved him. So went outside. Then he wanted to go for a drink. I also don't drink, and he thought that was really cool. There was a bar nearby, and so I ended up spending 2 hours in a bar with Simon Beasley, and just chatting about music in Canada and comics and everything. He was the nicest guy, and he looks like Lobo. He's like a big guy with shaggy hair. If you would paint his face white, like he would look like he based that design off of himself, essentially. So then he asked if I could smuggle him back some beer into the convention center, and I was like, sure.
Nice.
So he bought a 6-pack, put it in my backpack, went back inside, and then if anybody has any interaction with celebrities or artists, a lot of times they know they're willing to take a picture with you to autograph an extra thing, but it's their handlers who kind of keep them in line. So I was going to buy a couple things off him, and he looks over his shoulder all, scared, and he gets a giant stack of books, slides them over to me and says, thanks for smuggling in that beer for me, mate. And he gives me like $200 in books, draws a picture Lobo for me, and then opens up one of the books and draws a picture to Howard. And he goes, "This is for your friend who stood you up." And so I got to hang out with Beasley for like 3 hours. It was great.
That is the best.
Whatever he wants.
That's the best stand up ever. Like, that, well done. Way to help him out is all I'm saying.
It is so weird, that happened to Josh. But then I went to the heavy metal booth because I wanted to get sketches and stuff, and I got one from Kevin Eastman. before anyone realized it was him. How do you not recognize him, which is amazing. But I really walked up to him, I'm like, are you busy? He's like, no, can you do a sketch? Sure. I'm like, holy shit, this is happening. It's like San Diego Comic-Con people. This is, there are people everywhere. So I'm like doing this when I'm supposed to be at my table. I went to the bathroom break. But then Simon Bisley was there too. And I was like, why not? I'll go for it. And I started talking to Biz, and I got a sketch. And he was sketching Lobo for me. And in the middle of it, I told him who I was. I was like, I'm Howard. He's like, I'm Howard who stood up Josh. And he's like, he stopped, he finished his sketch, looked up to me, he's like, fuck you.
Nice.
I was like, yep, bye.
That is hilarious.
So like Josh and I have all these weird stories like this. Being geeks, I mean, when Josh used to help, help me at my tables at conventions, because going to the bathroom and having lunch is an important thing to be a human being, and guess what? We need to do that at conventions as well. So sometimes, Josh would be at the table doing that, and then one time I remember, like, I was about to go to the bathroom, and Josh just jumps over my table. It's like, sorry. I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. What the hell? What's going on? And then he comes back with the biggest smile, and turns out that he saw Del Toro on the floor and hugged him.
No way.
And I was like, couldn't have yelled that a little loud so I could jump over the table and do the same thing, right? So this is the stories that you can only share and have with a fellow geek, and Josh is a huge geek. And so we
and Del Toro is one of us. Like, I saw him. I went up as a nice Canadian and didn't ask for an autograph and didn't try to bug him, but just wanted to say hello. And I co-own an independent cinema, so I chatted with him about that a little bit. And then I was like, well, I'm going to let you go. I know. And he was just there. He wasn't there on a panel. He was just there, like, buying comics and stuff. And he's like a foot shorter than I am, and I'm not that tall. And he was like, so nice to meet you, my friend, and gave me a big hug. And so I got to meet Del Toro, and then I walked back over to Howard's table, and I'm like, my new best friend, Guillermo del Toro.
Wow. Yeah. And I had to agree with him, like, yeah, that's worth for me peeing my pants. Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So yeah, you have so many. Josh has a lot of awesome stories about stuff like that. So it's like we basically bonded through our geekdom. I mean, I don't know when I found out you co-owned the independent theater until like years and years after, and I was like, and I remember asking, what do you do for a living? Because I've known you for years and years at this point, but I never asked them, because I'm always like geeked out and stuff. Like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I co-own a movie theater in Ottawa. I'm like, shit, really? What the hell? So it's like this weird realization that you know someone at a certain level, like it's just not normal level that you need normal people at. Because usually ask, what do you do? Where do you live? Are you married with kids? And where did you go to school? The normal questions. But when you meet someone in that world, in our world, it just transcends everything. You're just connected with all these other things and experiences that you're totally cool that this is how you know them and connect with them. And then slowly you find out more, I guess, adult stuff about them. And then you're like, oh, that's actually more ways we should connect and everything. So it's been a lot of fun working with them and then connecting even more with them. And then we found out that we like the same kind of stuff, especially for Damn Chris Children. So it's sort of like, this is going to be a good, fun book, because we don't have anything that we won't like not to do in this book. So it's been really awesome.
Oh, that's every single story there is one of those super awesome stories that every comic nerd wants to have sometime in their life. So I usually ask every creator, as often as I possibly can, one question. And I'm a big Jack Kirby fan. I've been a big Jack Kirby fan my entire life. And even before I knew he personally killed 4 Nazis. And Jack once said, comics will break your heart. So your guys' experience, comics break your heart?
Ooh, Josh, you want to go for that one first?
Not me.
That's a resounding answer there.
No, I mean, for me, like I kind of talked about it before, and I mean, Howard and I joke back and forth that he's Bert and I'm Ernie. So we make a good odd couple in being in the trenches of making comics, because Howard knows the rules, Howard knows the people, Howard's very good at making comic books, and I've got ideas, and I'm a bit more rose-colored glasses, for better for worse. So we work well together, but comics have not broken my heart, and every little step I've taken into getting to create comics is really a dream come true for me. And that's why, again, Howard and I joke, where we want this to go further. We want to make more comic books, but it's just a thrill. And I've talked to people much more successful than either of us. And it's like when you hold that comic book in your hand, or when you have that something. We had Max Brooks a couple of years ago drop by the cinema. He was doing this thing through Carleton University, which is a school nearby the Mayfair Theater. And he was just doing like a Q&A and a speech, and he's a really cool guy. And of course we were talking about his dad, and all this kind of stuff, but he's written some comic books, and he said that too. He's like, yeah, like no matter what success you have, when you hold that comic book in your hand, you're like, wow, if I could tell myself when I was 8 that I would have a comic book, that's pretty cool. So I'm good so far. Hasn't broken my heart yet.
Good news. That's good.
Well, I have to agree. It hasn't really broken my heart, and it'll be frank that I didn't start collecting comic books until I was in high school. To be honest, I mean, I would pick up the odd one from the corner store, no joke, off the spinner rack and stuff, because I didn't know where else I can get comic books as a little kid. Because my dad didn't read comic books, and my mom obviously didn't read comic books, but when I hit high school, I have friends who did, and they were bringing in like the first issues of the Image books, and I was like, holy shit, what is this? The quality was production quality is completely different, and that was a rabbit hole. And then I jumped in, and it's like, well, go to my comic book shop, and I was like, oh my god! And then I spent like so much money during those years in high school. Oh my god, it was like I'm a part-time job, totally pointless, because all the money is going. I'm just going to just send a check directly to my comic book shop, and that's what happened. Basically, buying like old stuff and used stuff, and it was like the world was like completely different at that point for me. I mean, it's never stopped. But then the funny thing was, when I started working, after university, I started working stuff. I stopped collecting comic books, and I got married. Then my wife literally asked me one day, is like, what you did for fun before we got married? Because you're not, definitely not happy after work. I'm like, I used to collect comic books and write them, which is like not the answer you want to tell your wife, maybe.
Right. Yeah.
But she was like, then go do that, because she's a geek as well. She's into manga and stuff like that.
Right there.
I mean, she's like the woman I married who had. Well, I didn't see it because it's a long story short. She had the whole run of Dragon Ball, like all the mangas, but all in, like translated to Chinese, because she's from Hong Kong. But there were some tomes. Some of the books were missing, and I was like, how come you're missing a few? It's like, I have really bad friends. So you obviously
never gave it back.
But the thing is, the fact that she left the holes there. So if you think about it, that friend ever came back, came to visit, you can point to the slot, right? So I was like, okay, this is a really good sign that we're going to connect. But she told me to do that, and I honestly started collecting like again during that time, and she started reading the stuff I was reading, and it was really because of her is why I started writing comic books, because I wrote for fun for myself. And she's like, she try to take, push it a bit and see where you can go. And we enjoy it. You never know. And that's why I pitched Stafford the Cape, literally on a whim. And when I went through it, I was like, shit, I have to do this now. Because I wasn't like, this is my plan. It wasn't my plan. I wanted to see if I was going to get that, letter back with, okay, this is why it's not great. So I can like move forward and upwards, right? Because I've had that exchanges with other creators and stuff like that, like from conventions. Like this is before the internet was big, so I was going to conventions, literally talking to writers and artists and telling them what I do and asking them questions like that. So it was because of her where I jumped back in and never came out. So definitely, would I say it broke my heart? No, there definitely is a love-hate relationship, because time-wise, I wish I had more time to read as many of the comics that I would like to read. Especially when you have friends who work in comic books. it's much worse because you feel kind of guilty when you don't have time to read their comics that they give you. It's just like, here's a giant stack. You are here somewhere, but I'll move you up to the upper echelons now, so you don't feel so bad. But it's sort of that guilty feeling. Like, it's just so cool. I have all this stuff from friends, from friends I know who made this stuff for different companies and stuff, but I don't have the time to do it because I'm doing other things too. So it's that weird love-hate relationship. I don't want to say it would break my heart, but I wish I had more time in the day to read it. So that's my take on it for sure. But I thought it's weird. It came popping in my head. Josh, comics didn't break your heart, but you almost got punched in the face for it.
Oh well. Howard likes trying to burn any bridges I might have with Chris Claremont one day. But
I didn't even say his name. You just said his name. I didn't even mention his name. So there's on you.
When I was like 12 or 13, I wasn't trying to cause any trouble. I was at a signing that Chris Claremont was at, and I pointed out that I asked if Jubilee was inspired by Robin because she had yellow and red and short dark hair, yellow and red costume, short dark hair, kind of had glasses like Carrie Kelly. And I just asked. I thought, that might make sense. She's kind of Wolverine's sidekick, kind of a tip of the hat to Robin. And he got really mad at me, and he started like yelling at a 12-year-old about how he didn't rip off Jubilee from Robin. And then a friend of mine who I'm still friends with to this day, who I hadn't met yet, was there. And in high school, like a few years later, I was telling this story, and he was like, "Oh my God, I remember that." Yeah. And so
that was you.
So Chris Claremont has this horrible reputation in Ottawa from at a convention, like yelling at a kid for asking a question about Jubilee.
That story. That story essentially tells me he absolutely ripped Jubilee off of Carrie Kelly Robin. I mean, that's really what that story tells me right there. You don't get that mad when that didn't happen, Wow.
and think of like any other character. If you said like, is this fill in the blank character? They might say, oh yeah, it's inspired by the Lone Ranger or Batman or Sherlock Holmes. That's all I was trying to ask, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well.
Wow.
It didn't go the way you thought it was going to
go. He went full John Byrne on you. It sounds like. Right?
Yeah.
What are you hiding? Why are you sweating?
So your comics didn't break Josh's heart. Break Josh's heart, but he almost got killed for it.
I broke Chris Claremont's heart.
Yeah, it looks like it.
There you go.
Well, and it looks like we might have accidentally lost Rob. He should be back any second now.
Back, Rob.
Rob is now messaging Chris Claremont to clarify the story. He's not checking right now. Do you hate children? Yes. Okay. Oh, good. Thanks.
And there he is. He's back.
Internet.
So as we were saying, looks like we're coming up on a little past 45 minutes here. So wanted to get you guys wrapped up so you can move on with your evening. But the first 4 issues are out now. When is issue 5 out again?
It's coming out May 26th. It'll be in stores
next week.
But
next week, all right.
But if you want to add a little more damn Chris children in your life, who doesn't want that? The trade paperback is now in previews for pre-orders right now, and we have a lot of bonus material that we shoved into it, as well as for those who came in late, we have an amazing forward by Jimmy Pamalotti, who I honestly sent it to him, and he read it the day of, and then he wrote this amazing forward the same day. So we were still like talking about like, did this really happen? Is this really him? I'm like, yeah, because I've been messaging and talking to him online for many years. So unless this person's been faking it for that long, no, it's really him. So and then we have, a lot of things that we wanted to put in that we couldn't, and maybe we'll put that online somewhere, but we shoved as much as we could into this trade, and oh my God, it was so much fun to put together, and Robin did an amazing job. Like, he had fun on this. So, besides the 5 issues, definitely check out the trade, man. It's definitely going to be worth the while.
Any chance of a sequel?
A sequel. Hey,
yes.
Josh.
I'm not going to say anything about the sequel, but there is a bunch of characters and a plot outline, and Howard has been very busy. I've been very busy. Even in these lockdown times, life is hectic. But yeah, I'm pretty confident we'll have a sequel, and it'll be something a bit different, but I think it'll be just as big and fun, and hopefully everyone who liked Volume 1 will like this new direction that we take Part 2 in.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's cool. Because I won't lie to you, finding out that there's only one more issue after this, I'm bummed. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sad to see it coming to an end. So it feels like it just started, and so to see it ending already, I'm bummed out. So excited to hear that there might be a chance there.
It's been so flattering. Every creator, I think, whether you're in a band or you're a filmmaker or whatever, it's just like, well, I know my mom's going to buy a copy of the book, but then, and we're not talking sellout numbers the way Death of Superman sold out, but it was so nice seeing stores all over North America who bought 2 copies, 5 copies, 10 copies selling out. And then people hitting us on social media or just saying they really like the book or sad that there's only 5 issues. And it's really amazing because when you try so hard to get a book out, you don't know how it's going to get received. It could have been nothing. And instead we've spent, all of this year on a lot of lovely podcasts and interviews and chatting with fans. And it's pretty great. So really looking forward to number 5 hitting the stands, and then the big fat collected book coming out later this year too.
Yeah, I mean, it's been overwhelming, the response, because when we were told that we were going to be solicited during the pandemic, we were sort of, are you sure? Maybe you guys, not for us, like literally for the company itself, like maybe you might have scale it back because we don't know how it's going to, how's it going to affect you guys? But Rworstreport is like, nope, we're doing it. We want this out. I'm like, okay, then we'll see what we can do. And as we got people's responses, it was like we were kind of shocked and surprised, and in a good way, obviously. And the shops, as Josh mentioned, have been very supportive. Like they literally were messaging us and telling us stuff they ordered 10 issues, and all 10 were not for people, weren't on anyone's pull list, but it was sold out within the first hour and stuff like that. So it was like, that's great, order more. But no, it was honestly, it's the support and the fans that have come out and to share their feelings about the book has been overwhelming. And Volume 2 that we've been working on here and there, we're putting our heart and soul again into it. We're not going to rush it. I know a lot of people are like, you should do it really quickly because there's a market there. I'm like, that's not how we did the first one. That's why it's like that. So we're taking the same amount of effort and time to do it. So we don't know when we'll be done, but it'll be done in the same quality and definitely same kind of impact, hopefully, as Volume 1. So definitely have to wait a bit, but it's going to be worth the wait for sure.
Well, I promise it'll be on my pull list.
Mine too.
One sale. We have one sale.
Well, a few weeks ago, we had on Kwanzaa Osajefo. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I know that his new follow-up series, White, was just pushed back a little bit. Hey, take as long as you need. I'm all about the quality.
Right.
I appreciate
I
it.
agree.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, guys. You guys are awesome, man. It's also the first birthday podcast we've been on.
Unlike yesterday when YouTube was knocked off the internet, we weren't the sons of bitches to do it.
Right. This time.
It's happened.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us tonight, guys. Really appreciate it. And please, anytime you'd ever like to come back, we'd absolutely love to have you back on the show. Any project you'd ever want to talk about, please reach out to us. And come back and see us again.
We're all about getting the word out.
Thank you.
Right. Thank you, guys. It's been awesome.
Great.
Anytime.
And now we're going to show some comic books.
Have a good night.
Night.
We don't boot you out. You can stay as long as you want. We're going to be. We're going to be.
Yeah, you can.
New books that just came out this week. We're going to show you how big of nerds that we are. We don't ever want to keep creators longer than 20 minutes, an hour. It's all up to you guys. We respect your time. But at this point is when we start asking, what'd you pick up this week?
Yeah, well, we're running low bag and boards in Florida. We know that much.
Two, huh?
Yeah.
No way.
Yep.
Okay, so I went on BCW's website just last night because I'm
Back
going,
ordered
okay, I
until
have
August.
100 left. Yeah, August
Back ordered
26th.
until August.
That's crazy.
Yep. I went to pick up my books and they're actually raw. That's the first time they're not bagged and boarded. I'm like, okay,
I
this
always
is.
gotta buy bag and boards.
I always do, and then they said they're running low on bag and board, so it was like great.
Yeah, my bags and boards, they're all right back here, and I don't have that much left.
You bought a big supply recently, didn't you? A while back.
But
wasn't
you
doing
also
already?
notice up there that I took down my Batman box, so I've been rebagging and boarding all my Batmans until I went, oh, I only have 150 left. Oh, I can go to a comic book shop and get
Nope.
I can't. I can go to Amazon and order.
Nope.
They won't have shit until June. Even the
Dang.
nobody has any bags and
Nope.
board are just.
That's
Yeah, that
Back
is
ordered.
not for the show, but it's something that all of us are kind of concerned about. How do we protect our books?
bag and board shortage. Forget
Ziploc
that.
and
It's all
boards.
about bag and boards.
Ziploc and boards.
As I always say, if you can afford a comic book, you can afford to protect it, especially if you don't have anything in your room that is has a cap on it.
Josh and Howard, are you guys still picking up weekly comics?
Yeah, I haven't not read comics since I was, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. So yeah, I get it delivered. Actually, I kind of skip the middleman and get a nice little discount. But yeah, I've been collecting Savage Dragon forever. I've been collecting
Miracleman.
anything from Grant Morrison. I don't know, off the top of my head, like for kind of mainstream stuff the last little while, I really love Dr. Aphra, one of the Star Wars books, is really doing some cool stuff. And yeah, and just everything. And a lot of digital comics, which when I was a kid, I would have thought like, no, I want to collect, but digital comics are pretty cool for just catching up on a lot of old reading and not filling up the shelves so much. But yeah, I'm a lifer. I'll be reading forever.
That's a good thing. I haven't really done a weekly thing for a while now, unfortunately, but I definitely have some books that I've have on hold at my local comic book shop that one day when the lockdown is done for the 4th time now, I think we're in the 4th lockdown, right, Josh?
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. It's like day 60 of part 4, I think.
So when that's done, I'll be forking out a big wad of cash, I guess, at that time for stuff. I'm looking into things like Something's Killing the Children, things like that where I'm trying my best to avoid. It's impossible now, to avoid the internet from any spoilers, but you're gonna get it because I haven't started it yet. So there's a lot of things that I know about but haven't read because I'm picking it up from friends who are like, "Did you know about this scene at blah blah blah?" Nope, but I do know now. Thanks. Why? But so I haven't done that. But I've been reading old stuff, which is weird because we've been renovating in our house, and I've been reading some old stuff that for my collection because I've been moving things around. So as of late, the last few things I've read, let me think. I actually have some here. Let me give me a second to grab them.
Something to show off.
Well,
Yes, this is show and tell here. This is our therapy session, as Ava put it.
Just random stuff like
making big.
We like random stuff.
So
I'm trying to finish that series of Electro.
Yeah, I obviously I love the artist because he actually is a pretty good friend. Mike is actually pretty cool. What else do I have in here? I don't know why I picked this. I haven't read this yet, actually. I picked this up a couple billion years ago. I haven't read it yet. So I don't know if it's going to be good or not. It's like
I think Miracleman read it.
Got great covers. Alex Ross did some great covers for that one.
Yeah.
And it's a box of trades and stuff that I picked up randomly. So.
Brian K. Vaughan, yes.
Yeah, so it's stuff like that I'm being, as was it Superman Secret Identity that this is like if anyone who hasn't read these two books, like Superman Red Sun and Superman Secret Identity,
oh God, yes.
read them back to back. It doesn't matter which order you do them in.
Ooh, I love Red Sun.
And then
Didn't
you
it
sort of
come out around the same time.
Did it come out at the same time? I can't remember now.
It was around like 2003, 4, 5. It was around a long time ago. God, I feel.
It's been a while, but people who don't read comic books always ask like, Superman's been done to death. I know everything about Superman. I'm like, no, you don't. And I usually like send them, these two titles to go after and read, and then they're like, this is not a Superman book. I'm like, yes, it is. Both of them are. That's the point. The fact that you can reinterpret these characters and these archetypes and these heroes any way you want. That's the whole point. That's the beauty of what we like and enjoy. It is not a one-dimensional, single point story. That's why we like comic books and the medium of it. So when I get people to read these two back to back, it sort of opens your brain, and then you go from there to like Kingdom Come or stuff like that, where it's like you take it on a whole different level. Yes, there's like those stories where it's just like a fist fight that solves everything. I get that, and there's definitely a place for it. But then you have things like holy poop! I just brain farted the title of that miniseries. Come on, think. The funniest superhero team from Marvel that hopefully one day will become a series live action because the character just popped up live action.
Great Lakes Avengers.
Great Lakes Avengers.
No.
I was thinking
from WandaVision.
What character popped up in WandaVision that was part of a comedic Marvel super team?
Photon.
She was part of a comedic team?
Yeah. Oh crap! I'm trying to see. I can see the cover. I can see the art. There's a crazy epic multiple-page battle where they're just running, just killing everything. Page after
Was this
page,
New
no dialogue.
Thunderbolts?
No. Oh, the hell. See, no. I don't want to look
She
it
was
up. I'm
Photon
trying
and
not
New
to look it up.
Thunderbolts. And now we're getting into a game show portion of our show. What's the name of the book that he's thinking of?
I really brain farted.
Next wave.
Yes.
Was it Next Wave? Had to be Next Wave.
Stuart
Yeah.
Immonen.
Yes.
The very talented Stuart Immonen.
Yes. See,
Go, Josh.
when you put that story in someone's hands who's never read a comic book, they lose their shit sometimes because they're like, this is really funny. I'm like, but is it all like that? Like, no. Well, a lot of it can be. So it's like this totally, especially that book, because it's the same artist who did Superman Secret Identity. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. That's the best part, is when you open people's minds and then you take comic books. They respect comic books in a different way, and then they dive in. Like, it's not to go, okay, now you're gonna do a weekly poll, but you get them to buy it from the bookstore or get it from the library for their kids, because now they know there's actually content that's really worth it for them to look into, right? So it's one of those things that I always love doing with non-comic book readers, and have a pile. Like, that's why I have trades. I'm like, here, you can borrow this. I have these singles, but you're never gonna touch that. But you definitely borrow the trade, and do what you want with it. But yeah, so it's one of those things that I love most, is like when I started digging the old stuff, because I have kids who are like teenagers, and now they're at a certain level where I'm like, hey, you should read this. And I literally did give Red Sun to my 15-year-old, and she read it, and she's like, what the hell? I'm like, yeah. So it's one of those moments where as a dad, you're like, ooh, I have a couple of boxes of these things that you can read now. This is great. So I've been doing that. So instead of going to the weekly, I'm doing this, which is I'm like diving into things and trying to remember the stories. Like, is this appropriate for a 15-year-old girl or not? Which is really bad. It's sort of like, hey, you should read the Max. And then you think about it, like, no, not yet. You shouldn't read the Max yet.
That's
but you
about
should read the
drama.
Max.
No.
Yeah, that one's rough.
No. But it's definitely worth reading, but not for a 15-year-old.
Hey,
Definitely.
back
So
when
it's
we
one.
were younger, you used to think that certain things were okay. Like I remember watching Ron Mahalf back in college, and I thought, hey, this is pretty much for teenagers. So I show it to my then girlfriend about a decade ago, the first couple episodes of Ron Mahalf. She looks up and goes, why am I seeing tits on animation on my screen where my 7-year-old child is watching it? Oh my God, I forgot this happened.
That's right. There are these things here. So, all right. Yeah, but that,
so you have to edit and look first.
It happens so many times because that's why you stop. It's like stop, drop, and roll kind of thing. But it is because in your mind, you think this is great. It was one of the stories and the impact of it. Then you go, wait, is this appropriate for this kid now? Later, yeah, but now, yeah, I read it when I was in high school, and I know people who read it way younger. But as it's your own kid, it's sort of like it's my responsibility not to mess them up as much as I was. I guess that's the goal of being a parent. So I'm trying. I try. So
good to expose them to lots of things, so that way they're prepared and well adjusted when they're our age, where we're not as well adjusted now.
Well, I'm pretty sure my kids dive into my collection without me knowing it because I don't lock it down. I mean, there's no lock. It's just a freaking long box, right? So it's not like it's like a lock on it. So they're free to go into it. They know that not to go into certain boxes where they're the really old singles like my Silver Surfer.
Hey, Dad, I found this book. It's called Faust. What's this about?
Oh, jeez.
No. No. See, then comic books wouldn't be breaking my heart. That would be the death of me. I'll be the comics would lead to murder. So no, so that's what I've been doing with comic books as for the last little while. So yeah, it's kind of a weird thing to go back and revisit stuff and then read them again. It's like sometimes you don't read something for like a decade or something, and you read it and you're like, I kind of don't like it as much as I do, but I like it in a different way to you liking something that you kind of didn't like at all, which is so weird. So it's been a really weird journey for me because my kids are like, why did you collect this? I'll be honest, I like the art. I didn't read the story too much, but now I read the story. It's actually really good. So it's like these weird like peaks and valleys that are reestablished for doing that, right? It's sort of like me going through my Carrie Nord's Conan run with Kirk Busiek. It's like totally no offense. I totally forgot about it until I looked at it into my collection. And I was like, holy shit! And I was like, you start reading it, and you're like, yeah, this is like really epic shit, right? So it's one of those fun journeys when you dive back in and actually read your stuff instead of just keeping them in the box or whatever, right? So that's what I've been doing instead of going through the weekly stuff.
I'm gonna plug one friend's book and then run away before I turn into a pumpkin or fall asleep in front of you here. But my pal Nick Bradshaw is drawing a book coming up called Bermuda, and it's the first time he's drawn a book in forever and ever. He's been doing covers, and he'll do little like 2-pager, little things like that. But this one coming up, it's a teenage girl Bermuda Triangle story, and it's got dinosaurs and monsters and swords and sorcery, and it's kid friendly, and it just looks like it's going to be something else. And I think it's 4 issues, maybe 5 issues. But so that is an example of a monthly comic book that I'm very excited it's coming out in the next little while. I think it comes out in July, and a great jumping on point for people, a brand new story. And in a time where a lot of people complain about no new characters, it's a truly brand new character and universe. So that's pretty exciting. I'm excited to see Nick jump back into doing a monthly book for a few months anyhow.
Nick Bradshaw is one of my favorite modern artists. This guy is like Art Adams, even more lively, more expressive, and more detailed. And I can't wait for this book.
And the nicest guy you'll ever meet. He does a Comic-Con out east called East Coast Comic Expo. And what's amazing about it is because he and his partner Danica are such lovely people, they get these guests that are way too big to go to a small-time East Coast Comic-Con, but it's a great old-school Comic-Con with a community that's really appreciative to have it. and just has amazing guests, and it's a great time. And so I'm looking forward to getting back to that. They just announced that they're skipping this year again, but that'll be 2022, which seems like a lifetime away. But I'll looking forward to going back out there and hang out with those guys again. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to getting to read some Nick's stuff before I get to see him next after this lockdown craziness hopefully ends in the next few months. So, but yeah, so go check out Bermuda because I'll be buying that.
Oh, I was muted. Yeah, it's May. We're already halfway through the year. It'll be 2022 before we know it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And so yeah, I'm going to go turn into a pumpkin.
Yeah, likewise. I'm going to follow Josh's suit. I want to say goodbye in unison.
Thanks,
you for having
guys.
me, guys. Take
Thank
care.
you for coming on. And just to remind everybody, Damn Cursed Children, the first 4 issues are out right now at your local comic shop. If not, it's on eBay, it's on Instagram, and the trade is in this month's previews to be released July 28th. And the new issue 5, is out, next week?
Yes, that's correct.
Week. Yeah,
Next week.
Wow.
Next week.
And it's on Source Point Press too. You can order it on Source Point Press.
There you
go. Absolutely.
Yep. So you can order it on Source Point Press too. So if you guys can't get it at LCS's, Source Point Press.
Thank you very much, guys.
Great. Thanks,
Take
everybody.
care.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, guys. Take care.
And that's how I let people leave. I don't move people from the studio.
Those they were two of the two of the best guests I think we've ever had. Boy, Howard.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about a guy who loves comics, man.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
You know, at my shop, they would ask, a couple of customers would ask if I'm related to Howard. I go, no, because my last name is Wong. So
there's like 5 or 6 different Wong families, right? Like it's not really
so it's
right.
It's W-A, so it's W-A-N-G and W-O-N-G. So
okay.
So
is there a meaning for it? Like there's the Smith in the United States for those that were the Smiths that made shit.
Yeah, I think it means one means king and the other I forgot what the other one means. I forgot what the other one. Yeah, I forgot what the other one means. But
I'm gonna call you king now.
Horrible bit of pop culture reference that I doubt anybody else knows. Anybody here familiar with the movie Hudson Hawk?
Yes.
Bruce
Willis. It was terrible.
Oh, listen, we might not be friends anymore. Hudson Hawk is the most underrated film of the 20th century.
I haven't watched it in more than 20 years. It came out in 1991 or 92.
There's your mistake. You should watch it now. We should, in fact, you know what? Next episode, Hudson Hawk watch party.
It's gonna watch it together.
There's a scene where Hudson Hawk, Bruce Willis, he's a cat burglar ish type guy, and he's going in to steal something, and they walk past the guard shack, and it's him and I think it's Danny Aiello is his partner in crime. And as they walk past it, it's in New York City. And as they walk past the guard shack, the guards are sitting there, and the one guard has, and hey, for you kids here at home, you might have to look this up, what this is, but he has a telephone book open sitting on his lap. He has the white pages for New York City.
What is a telephone?
and the guy went through and he counted the number of Wongs in the phone book in New York City. And the joke was he tells his partner, he goes, "Oh, there's like 832 Wongs in the white pages." And the other guy goes, "That's a lot of Wong numbers." So in case you've never seen a Hudson Hawk, that's the level of humor we're talking about here. But
so Manos, The Hands of Fate is your favorite movie of all time by that.
Actually, my favorite movie of all time is Cole. You ever seen Cole?
Oh God, yes.
Oh yeah. Liam Neeson.
Yeah, I know.
Night, Jeff. The world's best magical weapon. The timing with the songs is pretty badass, Ignacio. You're right. Seriously, if you've never seen, come on. If you've never seen Hudson Hawk, you got to watch it. King or Yellow. Oh, that's okay. Nice.
I like yellow. Look, it's the color of our show.
So who's got comics to show?
Nobody.
Shut up, Eva.
Yep.
I got comics to show.
everywhere. I got comics everywhere, man. So
I
just
want to
let
see
me
what
know.
Jeff has.
Let's
It's
see
been
what
a
Jeff
while
has.
since Jeff's been on this show. Let's see what Jeff's got.
Yeah, I got what I picked up is still raw. I still need to go get bag and boards, but
I love the red
so-
lantern behind you, by the way.
Thank you, sir.
That's
I
very
got
cool.
I got the red, black, and white.
Nice.
They're all
Very
behind.
nice.
So,
Yeah, he has a red lantern back there. Nothing's bagged or boarded. He's about to vomit blood over everything.
Is that a Linsner?
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Yep, it's actually a Sonya verse, so it's pretty much like pretty much like Superman and different universes. It's pretty much Red Sonya in different universes.
It's the multiverse of Sonya. Kroll.
Pretty much.
Yes, Planet Arizona. I'm sorry, Kroll, not Cole. I'm sorry.
And then Vengeance of Vampirella.
Nice.
Yep, Pirello cover. Yeah, it's been a good series. But the Vampirella with the Sacred Six.
Nice.
Yep. And I picked up Red Room from Ed Pisker, the hip hop family tree guy. So
I can't wait to dig into that.
Yeah, me too. It's on top. It's on top now. I read the last three, so this is the next thing I got to read. So that the Quest, I still got to read issue 1 and 2. So yeah, and then I picked this new #1 up. So.
Oh, that's cool. Who published that?
That is, let's see. Yeah, hold on.
Oh, shit. So the third issue of that, if you can find it, is worth $1,200.
Strange Attractions? Really?
So on the Key Collector app, the last Nick's picks, I guess it is. So issue 1 and 2 came out back in like the early 90s. And then all of a sudden, like towards the end of the 90s, the third issue started floating around and nobody knew when it came out, but good luck finding it. It's $1,200.
Wow.
Shang-Chi 1, and then picked that one up.
Nice.
Yep. I've been really enjoying this too. So
same.
Yeah. This one, I was just reading issue 1 before you guys hit me up. Then the Godzilla book, I still got to read issue 1, and it's back behind me. So, yep.
Yeah, they did, Eva. The Dynamite did do that with Betty Page. They did a multiverse. It was like the first 5 issues was the multiverse, and then the last 4 issues weren't. It was weird.
Mickey Woodcock
Mickey.
and the good
Nice.
the girl that electrified Tesla. I always get that damn title tongue-tied every time too.
I say $1,200 because it sounds worse.
Yep. And this came in last week, but
Nice.
it came in like in the middle of the week. And this artist has never done any comic covers in general, so
Who was the artist?
a really, really, really weird name, man. Like it's a Spaniard name. It's like really weird.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Yeah,
curious what Ace has to say about this.
What?
Yeah.
And those look like blood. That looks like blood clothing. Is that blood trickling from
No,
her
it's-
mouth clothing?
No, she's actually in her outfit.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So
She looks cold, is all I'm saying.
But that's if you look at what the artist does, that's what the artist normally does. So
Very cool.
his style. So
I'm not against nipples. Oh no! It looks like Lee's got to leave us.
Yep, Lee just had to dip, so do check out Whack Comics. Whack Comics is on every single day. I'm not kidding. He's on every day. It's awesome.
Yeah.
and this came in like 2 weeks ago.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crap.
Yeah.
Is that the omnibus?
Yeah. It is the deluxe edition.
Okay.
And it
Very
had-
cool.
And this is the only way to get this cover was if you kickstarted it. So I kickstarted it and picked the Kickstarter cover. And
Nice.
it looks like an old school VHS too.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah, signed by Tim Seeley too.
It's my
Yeah,
favorite series of all time.
Tim's great. We're gonna get Tim on this show someday.
But
One
that'd
would
be
hope.
fun. Yeah, he'll jump on. They're pretty much everybody's pretty nice about stuff. So I was gonna get Howard and them on eventually, but you guys hit him up first.
You can still get them on.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll come on for you. Yeah, he definitely seems to like to dig. He definitely seems to dig talking about comics. So that was nice to see. So, who else got something? There he is. You got him. Put your mic on. Put your mic on.
My bad. I forgot I was on mute, so you guys wouldn't hear me crunching on my apples. I got books, but I'm gonna show these first. The lovely Ace, they hooked me up with the. I'm not sure that part. They hooked me up with I'm not messing it up. There we go. Hello. So I already like pre-cut them open already. So let's see what I got for me birthday. Are you ready?
No.
Let's see it.
Never.
I'm ready.
Okay,
I'm gonna guess.
I'm ready, Daddy.
Oh no. Oh no. Someone's about to come in and ask why you're saying daddy.
Why is there a sticker on there?
Now we know how much you got it for.
Nice.
I've always wanted this cover of the Punisher. This is so awesome.
That's a badass cover right there.
That's going on the Scotty wall.
Those are Nerf guns, aren't they?
Yes, and my students love Nerf guns. I mean, I didn't. That's one thing that I never thought would still be popular. I had Nerf guns when I was a kid. I had one of those Nerf wiffle balls. Those are fun.
I still think the most damn romantic thing that you could do for a woman is to one day after you come home from work see a Nerf gun there where it says, "Tag, you're it. Try and find me." That sounds so romantic.
I agree.
Aww, I want to do that.
And I've always wanted this cover. So
here it is.
Love me some
nice
Nightcrawler. And this series Wakanda Forever was really good. So thank you, Ace. I appreciate it. I waited to open those too. I just didn't. I would have opened them earlier, but I still don't have a phone yet. So, but what did I get for this week?
I have to agree with Eva on that. By the way, there, Rob. I think Eva's 100% correct there.
Oh my!
If you're gonna shoot your woman,
that would hurt you.
If you're gonna shoot your woman in the eye. If you're gonna shoot your woman in the eye, don't do it with a Nerf gun.
Do it. Hit me with your Nerf gun.
Do it with your
How long
personal
are you
gun.
saving that one up, Anywho, let me
Listen, I waited till the guests were gone until I got to the sexual innuendo. Okay.
good. That's very noble of you.
Right.
And now we're back to our normal broadcast.
See, I'm a goddamn
man.
adult.
I'm not.
Are we
Really? So I haven't read everything yet.
Chronologically.
I was in the middle of reading this one before I hopped on. But Nottingham has been one of my favorite reads. So good. The artwork is great. I love the story. I loved Robin Hood when I was growing up. I read the book when I was a kid, but it was to see a dark twist on Robin Hood because he's always thought of as a very kind person, steals from the rich and gives from the poor, but they made him seem evil in this.
And
one.
we were talking about this before the show started. Issue 1, folks, is on its 5th printing. It just got announced it's going to do a 5th printing of issue 1 from Mad Cave Studios. Yeah. I don't know how many Mad Cave books have had 5 printings.
All of them.
I don't think that's true, but that's great. I follow the creator on Twitter, and he is super excited about it.
I picked up issue 1. My shop got mad at me because they only ordered 2, and I didn't.
No,
I didn't pick it. I didn't put it on my list, but because since I got since they're nice, they said, "Hey, you might enjoy this book." And then the other shop owner handed it to me. The other owner goes, Did you sell the other Nottingham? Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
put that on the eBays.
Yeah, I missed issue 2, and of course it instantly blew up. So
I'm glad I put that on my pull. I saw the first cover. I was like, that's a clean cover. Honestly, it was a cover buy for me, and then I read the first issue, and I was like, so
dope book.
It wasn't even a cover buy. It was more like they told me about it, and I went, yeah, I'm getting.
I knew nothing about it.
Knew that was in your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And then I read We Only Find Them When They're. This is definitely becoming one of those series that you're gonna have to read like all together, because now I'm like, we're in the future now. Even though we're in the future to begin with, now we're further in the future. So I'm like, come on, I gotta go back and read this shit from the beginning now.
Is that a new issue, or is that a resolicit?
No,
of the last
new issue.
New issue just came out today.
Okay, I picked that up today going, okay, well, he put it in my pile. I guess I'll get the same issue I got with the spoiler variant. Yay! Yes, all the Thank you. I didn't want to say it, but thank you. Yes, all the
I'm not surprised you thought it was the reprint of another issue. You're like, huh?
Yeah, they've done. I think those books have been coming out all the time with reprints. The first, second, third, fourth. I think like every issue is getting a reprint. Every time I go in there, I see there's another. We only find them when they're dead, and it's like, Jesus, I don't even know what issue did I buy last. What printing is this one?
That's where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
And it's the same cover.
Right.
That's crazy.
Right. And I won't lie, if I flip it open, the art, not my style of art, so I can't really pick up just by looking at the art. I got to actually read a little bit of it.
I like it. Certain parts of how they structured the scenes kind of like throw me off, but I can deal with the art for sure.
And
it's just like the random time bumps that throws me off.
That throws me off.
If you're an anime person, it's pretty much If you're an anime person, it's in your wheelhouse.
Right.
It reminds me of Planet X.
It's perfect for the giant space creature. I think the style of art works perfectly for it. Right, and it was on hiatus. The other part about it, though, is they're doing some really unique things with page layout on that book. So I think you definitely have to. If the art style is not your style, you definitely have to put maybe a little bit of effort into it to read it. But the story is absolutely worth it.
People say the same thing about Department of Truth.
Right.
No, that had to grow on me, the art style, for sure.
Yeah, but after you get like 3-4 pages in, you're hooked with that story. With We Only Find Them When They're Dead, while it's good, it's one of those you're probably better off just reading it all binge, because issue by issue, it was difficult for me to get in the world.
For me, like the first couple issues, I was good. Like I was like, I understood the story. But after he started battling it out with that blonde chick, I was just like, what's going on now?
I didn't understand what was going on.
I got it. I understood that they have a past, but it was just like, were they in a relationship? Were they just
no.
Asked me to the shop. Buy a book. I was told I don't even have a book. I signed up for the.
Yeah.
Wow. What the heck?
So if you have 60 books on your pull list and you have a shop that goes, hey, by the way, I messed up the order, you should find another shop. Well, he should find another business to get into, because if you're buying 60 books on your pull, whether that's a week or even monthly, that is a serious customer that a shop owner shouldn't want to lose.
Yeah.
Jeez. Oh my God. 20 years.
So wow. That is so messed up.
Yeah, much like that last year, or I think it was even the year before. I can't even remember anymore.
Well, let's hope the owner is senile, and that's probably what happened. Let's hope the owner getting old. That's what happened. So.
Kirk, you got any more books, buddy?
Oh yeah, I had a whole bunch of them.
We're all talking. Show us what you got, buddy.
I'm so used to tangents. It's not even funny, dude. Come on, I'm a teacher. I did this all the time. So I I'm so glad y'all pushed me to get this series.
I'm glad you picked it up.
Yeah.
So
This
good.
was so good. Like, whew, the issue number 3 already threw me off when all you heard was "Plot out, how you like me now" at the end of it. But this, they need to, like, they gotta get out of there. This was so good. I love this. I need to get that homage cover.
It's a twist on Homeward Bound. That's
Yeah.
what I say.
Well, it's sprinkled with like some Disney art a little bit, and it's just like, yeah, it was good. I liked it. This was the last issue was good. I don't know how many people are reading this, but a bunch of people went kaboom at the end of the 6th issue, and now there's a group of mercenaries that are like helping out. It's gotten so good. Love it.
Can't wait. And fuck him, Air Spider. He doesn't need you. Find a better shot.
Yeah, for sure. For real. Like, better make it. I'm because like, how many people are they doing that besides to you? You know what I mean? Like, are you the only person? Like, I would make a video. That's just me. Anyway, we start top shit. Orcs issue number 4. I love this story. The art style is so great. Story is wholesome. Like, you really get I love the perspective of, like, you know, we think of orcs like, oh, those are just the monsters. Those are the first monsters you kill, and like some kind of like stereotypical swords and sorcery like story. But like you hear like the journey of the orcs through their perspective. So it's really, I love it. It's a really great story. And I love, there's like this crazy old lady. She's not crazy. She's like a prophet who like there's always like telling these kids, the little orcs, a story. So you get like little parts of the story, which kind of connects to the main characters on their journey, because they're like they're compared to those characters in the story. And the story that the grandma is telling is great. Here's Daredevil number 30. I finally caught up and read it up to 29. This was so good. So I can't wait to read this. Now we're on books that I haven't read yet. I love the Black Knight. I still need to read issue number 2. It's in my other read pile. But of course, like anything Black Knight, I'm gonna read because he's like my favorite Avenger besides Wonder Man. So I got a dilemma. I read issue number 1, loved it, fell in love with it. Forgot to get issue number 2. So I thought I was gonna be able to get it when I went to go visit Comic Zombie in Fresno, but they didn't have it. So I was like, ugh. So if anybody knows somebody got an issue 2, let me know. I'm buying that sucker off.
So FOC this week, I think, has the 3rd print of issue 1, 2nd print.
I'm already getting second print. I'm getting second print, but I gotta wait 2 weeks from now, right? I think.
Yeah. If only they just weren't $7.90.
I know. That was when I noticed that. I was like, but this. I mean,
that's
honestly,
the big
with
reason
the
I didn't
artwork
pick
and
it
the story, it's kind of worth it. But that's still some pricey book.
I kind of look at it this way. If it's $7.99 and the first issue is good, and the second issue and the third issue is going to be that kind of price, you know that the print run isn't going to be nearly the same as like a Spawn or even I Walk with Monsters.
Oh yeah. All right, 3 more. I still need to reissue number 1. I had the Scotty Young cover of issue number 1, but I finally finished was the Last Valkyries. So here's issue number 2, which was great too, by the way. I love anything with the Valkyries. Here's the Mighty Valkyries, issue number 2. I am so far behind this series. We already talked about this. Y'all know how I feel about a lot of the X-Men titles that are coming out. But of course, I did not take this one off because I really enjoy this. But I haven't been reading. I've been taking a break off of X-Men books, so I have a whole little stack. As soon as I finish teaching this summer, as soon as the summer comes, reading all those X-Men books.
It's great that Excalibur's ending, but now there's X-Core and Way of X, and then there's too many of them.
Not for me. I got the Scotty Young covers, and that's it.
That's all you needed.
What was that?
That's all you needed.
Yeah, that's true. And then here's my last book.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 books behind. Like I said, pull my other read pile. But I've been enjoying this series. It's been pretty good. It's funny as hell and action packed, so can't complain too much. But that's what I picked up. X-Force. I bet it was. I'm not reading it. I heard good things about X Factor. Not reading it.
It's
Way too
just
many X-books.
too much.
I bought every X-Men book except for Cable because I'm like, no, y'all suckered me into this. Some of the stories were good, like X-Force was really good at the beginning. I don't know what it's like right now. It was great. I loved it. I just hated what they did with Beast. I love the main X-Men story. Like Marauders is awesome, but like I could, and even like the Fallen Angels, like that was good. It was 6 issues done. You're done.
It told the story it needed to, and it got out. It didn't stick around because, well, people are buying it. I guess we'll just keep putting it out. What are we going to write about? Does it matter? As long as it has a cover, people will buy it.
I'm at the point where I'm just like, I'll wait until Hickman gets to his final, like whatever you call it, and I'll read that.
He's never gonna get to his final chapter.
I know.
It's gonna
Maybe
make
in 4 years.
The sad thing is, I've been keeping up to date with him, and if you ask me what was going on in any individual title that wasn't Marauders or even X-Men, I couldn't tell you what's going on in there. I can barely even tell you what's going on in X-Men right now. And that shit's about ready to be done, and then they're going to restart it all over again. Nope, I'm out. I'm done.
Yeah, I jumped ship long ago.
Ace.
Which that Ace?
Ace.
Oh,
Sunstone.
I love Sunstone. Okay.
Yummy.
Okay, first. Got the Autumnal. One of the best horror series out right now. If you're not reading
I've
it,
never
Your
heard
Mom
of
Was a
it.
Hoe. I got the variant for it. I never see both covers at a shop, so I had to get it. Then Engine Ward. Fantastic. Love this.
Looks like a Kree warrior.
yeah.
I don't know what the fuck that is.
Or something from what is that MMO game that everybody plays?
Mickey.
Ooh, is that issue 2?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Nice.
Yeah, that particular issue I flipped through, you can't show the interior of that.
Oh, is that
Flip
so?
through it.
You mean I can't show?
Mm-hmm.
Good night, everybody.
So the shop had 3 covers to that, and I asked the dude that works there, like, which one, and he was just like, well, this one, because she's not smoking and she's not killing a man on it. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy the one where she's killing a man. Why would
That's
not?
cool.
I love when men are killed. Home number 2. I didn't get to read.
That's what I forgot to pick up today.
Yeah.
I knew it. Issue 2 was so good. I mean, 1 was so good.
I haven't got a chance to read number 1 yet, but I keep hearing really good things.
Okay.
I Walk with Monsters.
So good.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been keeping it with that either.
I haven't read that. I heard good things. Yeah, I haven't read it.
I even got Rufo reading that.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I'm gonna see if my shop has it on their website.
The mini deaths of the latest are iconic.
I still need to read issue number 1.
Of course, Maria Loubet, but only got 1 cover because I only went to 1 shop today, so my life is kind of ruined. So, Stray Dogs.
Dang, that's such a good cover.
So Zenny and Gracie, these 2 dogs, they belong to the lady that works in my LCS.
No way.
Yeah. So,
I was just looking at that earlier. That is hilarious.
we only find them when they're dead. Their time jumps in this are fucking shit. Whoever wrote it doesn't know how to do a time jump properly. That's what really bothers me. So
I agree. I totally agree.
I read a lot.
L. Ewing.
I read so much stuff with time jumps in it, like book-wise, where I can read like sentences that jump back and forth, and it's not a problem. And then that is a fucking problem. And if I can't keep up with it, I'm not doing it right.
I dropped it a while ago before the time jump started.
And then
Naruto, Bleach, Dragon Ball Z, all of DC
Bleach wasn't
comics.
that bad. Naruto was bad.
And then the thing that's better than anything that y'all got, because none of y'all fucking read this, Sunstone. The first 5 volumes are about a lesbian kinky couple, but there's like so much.
You showed us.
There's so much depth to it. It's not just smut, but there is smut. You know. Let me
Just
find a
enough to
page
keep
I can show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we got this page. I can show that. And I don't think there's any. I don't think there's anything else I can show.
You have me at smut.
Yeah.
Unless y'all want to take a big risk.
We did that once.
We got shut down.
Once.
Okay. The nipples are covered up in this. All right, if I do this, all the nipples are covered up. So
Can't really see it anyway, so we'll be
Except
all right.
for
As
that
long as you
nipples.
no, these are covered up with clothespins, so
There
you
you
can't see the nipple.
Sure.
So that's perfect.
So
Unfortunately, we did see that woman with her legs kind of spread in the upper corner.
No. Like that doesn't count.
well, if Rob gets us a little bit of a strike, we know what happened.
No, like there's a hand and an arm covering her.
YouTube don't care. You know that.
And yeah.
If YouTube freaking gives you a bail for Vampirella, man, they're gonna be it for anything.
You know how many times I've just been here, been like, daddy, and YouTube has done nothing.
But that's something different.
And then I've also like grabbed my boobs and bounced them multiple times. Nothing.
Milkers.
They'd rather have real life ones that doing it than cartoons, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, YouTube logic.
Yeah.
Do you have any other books?
I read some stuff digitally, but I don't have my tablet, so I cannot tell you what the fuck I read.
Yeah. Oh.
I could check
It's okay.
Goodreads.
I have a huge stack over here, and I didn't read one thing.
Really?
You know this right here?
Oh, yeah.
All of it. Well,
That's
it was
the
my
size of your
birthday
stack.
week. You know, it was my birthday week. I started a new job, or rather, it's the same job but for a different company. And yeah, now we're back up to today. New comics came out, and I have to go visit my parents this weekend. And maybe then I can finally read all this shit.
I did have a major accomplishment. In like a month, I read all of Jinyu Ito's work. 40 years worth of career in a month, you know.
That is crazy.
That's a
Are you
a lot.
serious?
Yeah,
Like all of it.
all of it.
All of it.
What the fuck?
And I read 37 books. Like
Wow.
thick boys.
Books.
Not like books,
Not
not comics.
Books.
You absorb books like there's nothing.
I do. And that's like slow for me because I usually read like 2 to 3 books a day, but I've only been reading like 1 a day. So I'm off my game.
It's almost the beginning of summer. It's hot. It slows everyone down.
Yeah.
Well, it's
so-
summer all the time over here in Florida, man. So it doesn't. So that's why That's why our reading piles are so high.
Yeah, my little joke I used to tell back when I worked Uber, I would tell people, yeah, Ford is a lot like Game of Thrones. You keep hearing winter is coming, but it never really does. And then I watched Game of Thrones, and you could follow that up with, and winter's a lot like Game of Thrones because winter never comes. And when it does, it's quick and very disappointing.
I have a better analogy for that about things coming and then being disappointed.
Do tell.
Florida's winter is like men. They always promise that you're going to come, but you never do.
You're the wrong dudes. That's all I'm going to say about that.
You see me not saying nothing.
Jesus Christ. All right.
Wow. Is it your turn, Miracleman?
I mean, it's 11:45, and we're telling fucking orgasm jokes and shit. Yeah,
I still have all this.
I know you got a shit ton. I got a shit ton. You got a shit ton. I'm gonna go fast tonight.
Go
fast. First up,
here we go.
Typical of a man, huh?
First up, we have Batman Fortnite 0 point number 3 with that G.I. Joe. There's Snake Eyes. There's Batman. That's fucking why. I didn't buy issue 2
because of the movie.
I don't even know what a movie is. Flash number 770 here. Dude, if y'all haven't gotten on Flash, got on Flash since the infinite frontier of new DC universe-ness, whatever the fuck they called it last time. Flash is phenomenal. Wally West is traveling through time and entering the bodies of speedsters. It's like Quantum Leap. And Ziggy is actually it's a great Jim Lee cover. Ziggy, the Ziggy of Quantum Leap. That character is portrayed by Green Arrow, Barry Allen, and Mr. Terrific. And Wally West obviously enters the body of Jay Garrick here during World War II, so you get some JSA stuff. It has the Ray, the original Ray from Quality. Happy Terrell in there.
Sounds like shit.
It's fucking bomb as shit. Here we have Heroes Reborn number 2. This is the Blur variant cover. I don't like the name Blur. I prefer Whizzer. Blur, but again, better name Whizzer. And then I got that We'd Only Find Them When They're Dead number 6.
I didn't see that cover.
I know, it's dope ass cover.
So much better.
Dope ass cover. Then we got that Stray Dogs number 4. Scumbag number 8. I'll be honest with you, I'm probably going to drop Scumbag because I've got like 3 issues I haven't read yet. Just can't get back into it.
It's 2 for me.
Good. It's really good.
I want to get that. Damn.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I just can't get into it. Immortal Hulk Time of Monsters number 1. I read about half of it. Alley-ooing. Then we got Joker number 3. Look at that gorgeous ass cover. Look at that shit. Look at that fucking shit. Look at that fucking shit. Here we got Justice League 61. Welcome home, Naomi.
Hey, hold on. Joker 3 came out today?
Yeah.
Fuck. I got 2.
Yeah. Then we got, and Howard mentioned this earlier about reading comics with your buddy's name in it. Howard and I actually share a mutual friend, Mark Lombardi of Shadowline, Jim Valentino's publishing house, at Image. And Mark is on he's the communications director for Shadowline. And his name is on the inside of this book. And for me, it's cool every time I see it because, Mark and I are friends. But it's, he told me, he goes, at this point, he goes, it doesn't even faze me anymore. But here we have Jules Verne's Lighthouse number 2. And there you go. You got Shadowhawk on the cover of that one right there. That. That's a fucking dope ass cover. Now here's the thing: I haven't read the first issue of Lighthouse yet because I'm way the fuck behind on books. So I have no idea why Shadowhawk would be in a Jules Verne book.
Why not?
I have a feeling he's not actually in the book. I think it's just a cover. And then I'm gonna go through these really fast because I got a bunch of them, and I don't even think I'm gonna do all of them. So we're gonna save some for next week probably, but. Got a bunch of books from my LCS. He called me up. He said, hey, I got these books. I'm going to do a trade with this guy. Come over here, go through them, pull out what you want. And I'm going to show you all the books I'm about to show you real fast here. These are all $1 books, okay? And you're going to go, you goddamn son of a bitch. All right? Now say it. Type it in the chat when you go, you goddamn son of a bitch. Go ahead and type in the chat. Here we have Ant number 1 from Arcana. Now, just so everybody knows, Eric Larson doing Ant number 12, going to finish the original series, and then he's going to relaunch it. That's about to come out. There's Ant number 2. Now,
I've never heard this series before.
Mr. Worst got me the limited edition sketch variant of this cover. Gave it to me for the holidays.
Ho, ho, ho.
Here we have Ant number 3 and Ant number 4. Now, when you see Larson's, when he puts this out, it's going to have Ant and Daredevil, not Matt Murdock. We're talking the original. Thank you. Joker 3 was last week. The original Daredevil from the Golden Age. So it's that red and blue cover, red and blue costume. He's gonna be on the cover with Ant, and issue 12 with Eric Larson puts that out. Here we got an Authority crossover with Lobo. We were speaking about the Biz earlier today. There you go. That right. And you know what? I missed a couple of issues of this, and here we have Batman Turtles number 2.
That was a great read. 3
and 4. I was very happy to get my hands on those. I could finally read the series because I had 1, 5, and 6. And here's some people might call me a goddamn son of a bitch. Captain America number 8. This is the second appearance of the Winter Soldier.
I knew it. God damn it.
Here we have number 11. There's his origin issue. And here we have number 12, final part of the Winter Soldier story. $1 pickups, boys and girls. American dollar.
And NBs.
Dr. Solar, Man of the Atom, number 30, Whitman reprint.
You know what I'm saying, Rob?
For like $1 a piece, is this what it feels like to be Aaron Myers?
Pretty much, right? Pretty much. So we have the Dr. Solar number 30. It's the second to last issue. It's the Whitman reprint on that one. Here's a book. I had to get it as soon as I saw it. Kill Image.
That's hilarious.
That is a book right there. That is a book. I've been looking for it for years. Excuse me. Now, Rob, you're going to recognize this one. This has become very this has become a very popular series, but not because it was good. But here I found the entire original Marvel series.
No way.
$1 a piece.
That's hella funny.
Okay.
You got the one? Issue 5.
Rob, didn't you just pick that series?
Issue 5. Why, yes, I do.
There you go.
I also have this badass issue 6.
That's the only one I'm missing.
Yep. Got that one. Oh, you know what? I forgot. One more new book I got this week. Fantastic Four Life Story. Got to pick up a Mark Russell. Now, the next one here, gang, I have been looking for a while. It's a killer series. One of my favorite artists, Marvel. Wow, that's a hot take right there, Eva. That is a hot take. We're gonna have to discuss comics later. This is a series I've been looking for forever, and I had most of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh what?
But I knew a good friend who needed one issue. I needed one issue. And Mr. Worst needed a few issues. So here we have the full run of Orc Stain, issue 1 through 7, by the great James Stokey. Yeah. Yeah. You're getting about 5 of these, buddy. Don't worry. You're getting about 5. You're going to have to get issue 3 and 6, but you get the rest of them. And there's issue 7. It's super hard to find number 7.
I can handle that.
They're all great covers, honestly.
James Stokey is hands down one of my favorite modern artists. He is just absolutely insane. A lot of things can be good if it's up your alley, Air Spider. Should have set me up like that. So, but you know, I love James Stokey work. He works really well in reds and oranges. You know, it's just he's a fantastic artist, and this book is insane. Literally, when you want to defeat an orc, it's all about an orc society. And when you want to defeat an orc, you cut off his graunch and you petrify it and you turn it into coins. His graunch is his wiener.
What?
Yep. Yep, his penis. Hashtag penis.
Orc penis.
Penis moolah, baby.
Orc penis.
Next up here. I have never read this series. A lot of people say, what do you mean you
It's
never read
good.
it?
It's very good.
First 4
Not
issues
good.
of Powers. 1,
There's no
2,
ending.
Oh,
3,
way.
and 4.
Yeah, Rob, you always talking about this series.
Yep.
I love the series, and I basically almost gave them all away to Jay Blitz because I needed to make room for other stuff, and I knew that Brian Michael Bendis would never
coming back to
finish the series.
Never coming back to it. No.
So I gave up on it, just like he did.
I also got real lucky here. I'm a big Dave Stevens fan. If you've been watching the show, I'm sure you've seen my Dave Stevens stuff. But I did not have these. These are the IDW Rocketeer Adventures.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
They're all Dave Stevens covers.
The Betty Page.
One, yeah. So the Betty Page is real quick rundown. The Rocketeer's love interest is based off of Betty Page, and one of the reasons that she's based off of Betty Page is because Dave Stevens became friends with Betty Page, the real life Betty Page, in her old age. He actually met her, went to take care of her. Was kind of a caregiver as she was, she's a much older woman when he knew her. And I think he was actually, with her when I don't know if he was with her when she died, but I know he was with her like near the end of her life.
To the end, yeah.
There's issue 3. Here's issue 4. And here is Rocketeer Adventures Volume 2, issue number 4. Just so everybody knows, this is the cover that's going to be homage for Blue Flame. Should be out next month. From our friends over there at Vault Comics. The Vault Vintage is going to have an homage to this cover right here.
We love you, Vault.
Someone's getting a free copy of it.
Noise.
Stop showing my face.
Now, I have this series, but I didn't have this cover. We got Miracleman #1 from the Marvel reprint.
I fucking hate Miracleman.
I know, right? Then we got a bunch of Moon Knights here, guys.
I'm done. Get that out of my face. I want that so bad.
4, 1,
No
4,
way.
5.
That's the cover out.
6, 7.
Ooh, I have that issue.
8. All just like these are about $1. 10.
Don't have that. That's a nice one right
11.
there.
All the covers are great on these series.
I know.
Man. 12. And then I'm gonna skip. I got a whole nother series here I ain't even gonna show you because I want to show you guys. These ones cost a little bit more than $1. Okay.
$2.
Well, this I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna go in price. I'm gonna show you from the cheapest to the most expensive. Okay. First up, $3 books. These are the second to last and last superhero book published by Charlton Comics from 1985 by Mr. Steve Ditko. We have Charlton Action number 11. That's harsh, Eva. And number 12. Now you say to yourself, oh, 1 through 12, you didn't get your 11 and 12, you didn't get 1 through 10. There is no 1 to 10. First issue is 11. Second issue is 12. Yeah, I'm serious.
Is this going by the same kind of back in the 1950s, 60s? Hey, we can't get a book on a newsstand with an issue 1. We got to make it look like it's been selling for a while. Started at issue 11.
So that's part of it. So here's one of the reasons that Charlton did this. And Charlton's notorious for this. Fighting 5, which is, has the first appearance of Peacemaker, I think starts at issue 38. And issue 37 of that series was Space War. Anytime you had a comic, back in the day, subscription was a big part of comics. They would mail them to you. Every time you had a new title, you had to pay the post office a new fee to ship them through the mail. So instead of doing that, they would just change the title to the new name of the book and continue with the same original numbering. So that's why you'll find a lot of Charlton books will just start at issue like 90 or 74. Really weird shit. Like Judo Master, I think, starts at issue 88.
That's so weird.
It's just weird. And Charlton was really bad about it. Those were $3 a piece. Here we have from King Comics, the original Flash Gordon books. That's issue number 3, and this is issue number 5. Now, listen, these are not going to be a lot of people's cups of tea, but I absolutely love these old pulp-style heroes. The King feature books are really tough to come by. They're in really great shape, too. I mean, if you look at them, for $5 a piece, fantastic. Now, a little bit more expensive here. Here we have Captain Atom, number 79.
Dang.
Not that anybody cares, but this is the first appearance of Dr. Spectro.
That's also not the modern version either.
It is not. It's an actual Charlton, and I got that one for $8. Here's issue. What?
Oh no, I was going to say for something that I'm pretty sure that the Charlton stuff from that era didn't have great paper quality, but that looks pretty sharp.
That one's pretty good. Here's one the next one I'm going to show you is completely intact. The staples are attached. There's nothing detached on this book.
I hear a big old hairy butt coming.
This is what you should expect from a Charlton book. It's issue 89. It's the final issue of the original Captain Atom series.
But
there it is. And if you see how all those pages are sticking out?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're sticking out because they just never trimmed them. They're fully attached. The page, they just never cut
That's hilarious.
side off. They also never cut the bottom off. You'll see the bottom there as well.
Should have Rob do it. He has some experience.
And last book I'm going to show tonight. I'm absolutely not going to do that. Last book I'm going to show tonight, and I'll save the rest for the next time. This one here, I was really happy to get. You don't find these in this kind of condition, so I paid a little bit more for this one. This was a $10 book for me. Okay. No, sir.
Do it.
Underages number 13. Very sharp copy.
Nice.
If you look at the spine, nice and flat and square spine on it. And that's the biggest problem with these books, these Tower Action Series books, which is the original publisher of Thunder Agents. Eva, I'm sure you're very familiar, as Eva is a very big Thunder Agents fan. They get, thank you, Pac. They get beat up really, really easy. They roll really bad, and the spines go to shit instantly. So when I saw this one in there, I saw the condition it was in. I was like, yeah, I got to have that one. So I was very happy with this pickup. Anyway, I got more books, but like I said, I'm going to save them for next time. It's already midnight, and Mr. Worst hasn't even gone yet.
But I'm going to go really fucking quickly then. I'm gonna
As respected by a man.
Accurate.
You're so hateful, Ace. You're so hateful.
Just towards men.
Birthday.
I
Sure, I'm
wrote
gonna
you
start
like
with-
a 4-page letter. I could be as mean as I want now.
Yeah, accurate.
Nice.
So I'm going to start with the independents because these are the ones I probably will get around to reading first before most of the others. So I got a Berserker second print. I thought it was issue 3, to be honest. Kojakaroo the Skinner. We got a Magnola cover.
Don't know who that is.
Mike Mignola, Hellboy, with Christopher Golden, the guy that did most of the art at the beginning of the Nom.
Nope.
I'm just realizing you wouldn't know or care who any of those people are. Yeah, I got this cover. I thought it was the reprint of issue 6. I'm glad to know that that is not. Oh, I just grabbed the very back. I don't know why I'm doing that. Geiger, third print. Look at that for a little while and then look at the ceiling. No, don't do that. Don't damage your eyes. Please don't sue the show because I don't have any money. They're all in comics. Please don't sue my comics. I walk with monsters. It's fucking awesome. In fact, Rufo's been reading it. He loves it. I'm going to give him my second print of issue 1 because I can't find another issue 1. Red Room, I love kayfabe. I watch their videos as often as I can. I kind of wish that he was writing life story, though, to be honest. Scumbag, loving the series. I am 1 issue behind, but I don't think I'm going to be dropping it, just like Stillwater, because look at how badass that cover is. And I see Max.
100%. Yes, Max, I love you.
And Stray Dogs, because we have a cat back here, Stray Dog up in the foreground. And then we got a nice big rat, because I love nice thick rats, and so does my cat.
Oh, you like me? That's so nice.
Oh. Toodles. Hey, we got Ultra Mega number 3 because it is really thick. That is why it's Ultra Mega in size and kaiju and other things. And you already saw that. So
all the good covers.
That's all the independents. And I'm sure I missed something. Here's Catwoman issue 31, where now Catwoman has Poison Ivy is in it. She no longer goes by Poison. It's just Ivy. She's a hero. Here is the Flash 770, because I've been getting every single cover that's the B cover with the Flash and haven't been reading it because that's just so on brand for me. Here is Joker number 2, that second print. It's a pretty badass looking cover, but that will be a buy and hold because the second issue is good. I like this new Bane. We'll see where it's headed. Here is Justice League 61. I read the first issue that Bendis was on. I like it. I'll stick around. We'll see where it goes. I like Naomi. This I had to get because just look at that. Look at the framing. It's just like the original. Hopefully I dig it as much. I don't know.
We know how that Dark Knight reads.
There's just so much Batman coming out. It's too much.
I know. I'm just sticking to Detective and Batman. That's it.
Yeah. So how to get the Rob Gives Me Free Stuff Club. I'm sure that can be arranged because I'm going to give the people a chance to talk here because I got 3 things for my birthday. They're all the same things. It's Resident Alien, a shirt where they're going like this. It's pretty awesome. I'll show it to you in a second.
That's awesome.
So those were those books. Don't try to buy the one per customer that's sold out at midtime. You'll be banned from your LCS. Fuck that LCS. They aren't worth your business. Go find a place that actually cares about you as a customer and a human being, because you're a human being first. But we're comic nerds. We're all going to be annoying because we want our books the way that we want them, and that's just the way that things are. Superman also dropped the super from his name. Well,
Michael Edmund.
Hey, yeah, Michael Edmund's here. And Superman will be going away so that Superboy can take over the title for reasons. All right, so let's get back to DC stuff. I picked up Rorschach 5 because I was missing it. I also picked up a copy for Lady Fantastic. We got Wonder Girl. Because I like all the Wonder Woman stuff. I think I might be going overboard. That's
well,
the
really good. Cohan cover. You're gonna be getting that Cohan cover too.
Oh, you know it, don't you? Yeah, it's happening. Nerds, yes, we're all nerds. So badly to the point that these are all the Marvels that I picked up today.
Damn.
Yeah. So we got Amazing Spider-Man. Hopefully you didn't miss King's Ransom, because if you did, I'm pretty sure you'll have no idea what's going on in the story right now. Because fuck you, Marvel. Black Knight has been pretty damn awesome, so I can't wait to read that. And to be honest, I didn't know who he really was before these stories. And I've been reading comics for a long time. I've just never been a Black Knight fan. But I'm a Cap and Hulk fan. And when you're talking about bad cuts, look at the spine on this, because it is way extended. Yes, I put this in a Silver Age bag because that's just the way that it was printed. Printing back in the day.
I want that original now.
So here's the new issue of Captain America, followed by, I have not been digging a lot of these Heroes variant covers, but I do dig this one. So I picked up this cover.
What the hell is that?
It's Hydra Cap in Venom attire. Because why not?
Oh, shit.
All right. Yes, Michael. People are nerds too, and nerds are people too, unless we're cosplaying cats with wings or you're a furry. Don't touch furries.
I'm a furry.
Good night, everybody.
I'm not a furry.
All right, so we got Champions. Notice that Eve Ewing is no longer writing it. It's now this new person, Lore. And hey, I like the last issue. I'm going to stick on it. It's Champions. I have every issue. It's not like I'm going to be jumping off because I'm just crazy. Daredevil has been amazing. We all know that
Totally agree.
Electra's not going to be staying as Daredevil, but I'm on for the ride.
You saw that coming, man.
Decided to get a different cover, so I picked up this one. And to be honest, I probably should have picked up the cover A. I picked up this today. Looks like Great Reds, right? Missing the Marvel value stamp. I really should check books before because the missing Marvel value stamp, it's not like they cut it out and now you're missing an area that affects somebody's stupid letter that got sent in. No, it affects story. So if it affects story, technically, this would look like maybe what? Maybe even almost a 6.5, maybe a 7 because of the Reds, because that missing Marvel value stamp that affects story. No grade. Incomplete. Like my homework assignments back in high school. This is Heroes Reborn, the Peach Momoko variant, followed by the Immortal Hulk. This is... Yeah. Hopefully this will be good. Nick Fury. Ruin a comic book character by changing one letter. You win. Can't wait to start Chip's Daredevil. Right now we are reading modern classic Daredevil, and you're in for a treat, to be honest. Just finally read everything Immortal Hulk on the Marvel app. Dee Dee is up next. Immortal Hulk's great. Can't wait to read 49 and 50, and it's over. I don't know where Hulk's going to go after this, but we'll see. Curse the Marvel value stamp, but hey, back in the 1970s, there wasn't Game Boy, there wasn't Nintendo or Atari, there was comics. What other cool shit can I collect because I'm a nerd? Oh, I can cut out a stamp and it'll go with my stamp collection because stamps are awesome. And I totally like collecting things that are awesome. So I'm going to cut that value stamp out. Do you like my Hulk 181?
I collect stamps.
Wow.
So this one has the Marvel value stamp.
Nice.
Crisp blacks. I love my crisp black covers, but you notice something a little weird?
A little washout there.
Yeah. The blacks are so crisp, yet Spider-Man himself, it looks like this has been sitting in the window of a bank for like a week.
It could be though, because the blacks are good. You're right.
Black itself is amazing.
And don't edit that out where I'm saying I love the blacks. I'm saying that about the color of a book because for me, I love black covers, and from the 1970s, it's so hard to keep that crisp.
Yeah.
And following that up with a nice bondage cover with Brother Voodoo.
Nice.
Can I recreate that?
What?
Oh yeah, that would be hot, Ace. That's hot. This is all me. I love that. Oof. Reason.
Good shit.
I'll pay $30 for that. Here is Mighty Valkyries. Momoko cover.
Nice.
Yeah, I know. You probably would have won that.
See, I don't like Peach Momoko like that, but like I see it. Oh, that's a.
Oh my god, that's what my body looks like exactly. Hope y'all like that.
I like it thick. Thick. It's all about thick in 2021, or at least to me.
It's always been about that.
Now, I'm kind of annoyed that I just read issues 1 through 5 of Shang-Chi, and now we're back jumping on to a new issue number 1, but here we are.
Wait, what? Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, why not, right?
It was a 5-issue mini, and now it's an ongoing, I think.
Is it though? Is it going to be ongoing, or is it going to be like 10 issues and hey, it's not selling that well? New issue number 1. No, don't do that shit again to me. Silk, second print. I like the cover. It's pretty. $3.99 just in case. Way of X #2. This will probably go in my big fat reading pile of shit that will never be gotten around to. Kind of like Wolverine, and those are all the books I picked up, and we did this all in what? Like 2 hours and 13 minutes. Not bad.
Not too bad.
Not too bad.
So is there anything anybody wants to promote going on their channels? Jeff, you got anything coming up on your channel?
Extreme Nerd Table. That's pretty much it. And then Silver Age Sundays, depending on if Javi or if just a little podcast is going to be hosting it. So I'm not sure who's going to be hosting it, but make sure they have the bell on. But that's pretty much it. And then Cantonese Comic Wednesdays, every Wednesday.
Awesome. And yes, Michael, it is Dr. Voodoo now. He is the Sorcerer Supreme. Apparently it happened in New Avengers.
Ooh. Gotta read that.
So over on your channel, Kurt, anything going on?
What do I got going on? I have like always after this on Thursday, I have the Teachers Lounge. Even Numbers is going to be on my channel. Odd Numbers on my channel. Even Numbers on Todd's channel. I believe it's going to be on. Todd's channel this week. So stay tuned for that. 9:00 p.m. Pacific time. If you are on the East Coast, I'm sorry, that's midnight. But if you are a night owl, you're more than welcome to come and join us. We talk teaching, comics, and everything else in between. I was on JP's indie show the other day. We were talking about Invincibles Volume 1, 2, and 3. So if you haven't checked that out, go check it out on the Rewind over on JP Collecting channel. Great channel. But yeah, besides that, still waiting on my new phone. So once I get my new phone, you'll be seeing me on Instagram again. But besides that, I ain't got nothing coming up. Just doing a lot of gardening, which has been fun.
Gardening's always fun. I just said that twice because I was talking to myself by being on mute. Fun times.
It's all good. I've been doing that a lot today.
Yeah. And Splash Page, want to hang out after the show? We will see because I have an early job tomorrow. But you can always try.
Maybe for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Maybe we'll see. But otherwise, Ace, are you starting back brags and boards yet, or are we still waiting on that for a little bit?
Waiting on it.
Oh, good. Miracleman, anything going on the Twitter?
Yeah, no, there's always something new going on the Twitter, but my brain is mush at the moment, so I can't even really think. But come on over and say hi sometimes. Akamoto1977.
So I guess on that note, remember, Black Lives Matter, trans rights, and Helen fucking Mirren. This has been the episode of Not Near Mint tonight. We will be back next week, same time, same channel, Not Near Mint, 10 p.m. Eastern time. We do this every Wednesday, showing new books, having creators on. We like hyping stuff up just because if we don't have new readers coming in, well, it doesn't matter if it winds up all getting canceled. So let's bring in all the new readers because we need them. Stay tuned, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. We'll be back next week. So till next time, love your comics, and hopefully you'll get to read them so you don't have a giant stack like this thing back here. Oh God, that's annoying. Good night, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Good night.
Bye.
Lord.
Thanks for tuning in. If you want to see this episode again, along with a catalog of back episodes and issues, surf on over to Not Near Mint on YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe and hit that bell for notifications. Rob Wurst, Lady Fantastic, Miracleman, and Comics on the Mind will be back next week. Same time, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Time on Not Near Mint.